We're gonna do the whole thing?
Yes, I'll read it. This is my
My
Bible. I am what it says I am. I can do what it says I can do. Today I will be taught the word of God. I boldly confess. My mind is alert. My heart is receptive. I will never be the same. I am about to receive the incorruptible, indestructible, ever-living seed of the word of God. I will never be the same. Never, never, never. I will never be the same. In Jesus' name, amen.
Found it. Found it.
Oh, that's good, you found it. Okay, that was awesome. All right, Jonathan, you
Now
recording
it's
him?
time to get in the word. Let's go to Matthew chapter 22. It'll be page, in the big Bibles, it'll be page 1046, and we're just gonna go to verse 37.
All right, where is Matthew what?
Matthew chapter 22,
You got a big Bible, it's page 1047, Rock?
Yeah.
1046.
1046, sorry.
Chapter 42.
You got a big Bible, honey?
Matthew chapter 22.
1046.
It'll be page 1046 in the big Bible.
Yeah, New Testament.
What chapter did you say it was on, Rock? What verse?
I'm probably start with 35.
35. Okay.
22:35.
All right, gotcha.
All right, is everyone there?
Almost.
Are you there,
All right. All right.
Jenny? Okay, now he was, you there, Jonathan? Okay, now he was, the Pharisees were talking to Jesus.
I was gonna tell Jonathan happy birthday, but just FaceTime me happy.
Okay, okay, bye.
I love you.
Sorry about that.
The Pharisees were talking to Jesus here, but one of them was a lawyer. So he was asking in 35, he says, then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him. Because the Pharisees always tried to get Jesus in a corner and tried to trick him. They never could. You can't trick Jesus. But he says, asking him, saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Now, there is no law anymore when Jesus came, because when Jesus came, we're not under law anymore, we're under grace. But Jesus said it to him, of the commandments, is when Jesus comes, these are the two greatest commandments. And the 10 commandments are still true today, just like when Moses brought them to us from God. But he says, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now, this is on me just as much as it's on anybody. We need to look at those two commandments every morning when we wake up and look in the mirror and go, are we really doing these two commandments? And look in the mirror. We don't need to look at anybody else. We need to look in the mirror and go, wow. Because he said these are the two greatest of the commandments. This is Jesus talking. These are the red words. And when the red words come around, you need to pay extra total attention, right? Because God put Jesus over everything heaven and earth. So we're on earth right now, and then we want to make it to heaven. So we better listen up, especially when Jesus talks. So here's what we need to look at. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. So we need to put him first,
Amen.
above anybody else on this earth. So every day, every morning when we wake up, or night, however your day goes, your schedule, when we look in the mirror, get ready, we need to ask ourselves, we put God first? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing and put ourselves in check? Dad used to say, every morning I wake up, the first thing I say is, "Good morning, Jesus." Because he wants to get his day going properly by saying, "Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Father." And that would always get his mind right, get it ready. And then the second one is, "Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." And you know that this world ain't right if we don't do that properly. Look at all the fighting and all the things that are going on today. But that don't mean that we shouldn't do that. Right? And that's why I'm saying, I'm looking in the mirror too. I'm going, now am I doing this? I've got to be right. If I ain't right, I'm not making it to heaven. Am I doing what he's saying here? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And he don't mean just the person that's living next door to you. He's talking about everybody. You know, Dalton said the other day that because this virus, he opened a door for a guy. He just opened the door to let the guy walk through because he had a handful of stuff. And the guy got all mad at him and said, "Go on, man, you got to stay 6 foot from me," and went off on him. You know, he was just trying to help the guy out because he had his hands full. So, even this virus has got people all cranky and mad, you know. "Stay 6 foot away from me, don't help me." And it's really,
Annoying.
it's annoying because, you're right. We all gotta go to the grocery store together. How are you gonna stay 6 foot from each other in a grocery store, walking down an alleyway?
I made sure of that yesterday when I went to the grocery store.
You stay 6 foot away from
I
everybody.
let them know 6 feet, I turned around, had my back to them, that way they couldn't breathe, because this is what it seems like. It's just what it
It's
seems
so
like.
difficult.
It's not good either.
It's hard to do that
Do normal life.
when you go into Walmart and everybody's going for the same stuff at the same time. It's just hard. And then when you're together, and then somebody's trying to hold the door for you or do something nice for you, then they want to go off on you. It's like, really? We were just over there trying to get the same bread. It's like, come on, we done it. If I got it, I done gave it to you. If you had it, you done gave it to me. I'm just trying to hold the door for you.
6
Come on.
foot or not, it doesn't matter, because you all, unless you sanitize your hands before and after you touch something,
Yeah.
sanitize that piece you touched something, and ain't no stopping it. So,
And the buggies and everything else.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, we done gave it to each other a while ago. I'm holding the door for you. Come on, I'm trying to be nice. And so we have to understand that we have to do what Jesus wants us to do.
And then these people, they got gloves on, but they don't change them after each.
Right.
Because
they're touching everything.
everything,
Everything.
it just,
It's no different than your hands.
I know,
It's just, I don't know, this is getting a little too far.
it has.
So I just want us to read this and see, we're responsible for ourselves.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
You can't make Sean be a Christian. Sean can't make you be a Christian. I can't make John be a Christian. I can't make Jenny be a Christian. You're responsible for yourself. The only way you can get to heaven is to be responsible for yourself, and you go to Jesus Christ and change yourself.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, you and Sean are responsible for those kids right now, and you take them to church. But when they get to knowing right from wrong at that age, they're responsible for themselves. David's at the age, he knows right from wrong. He's responsible for himself.
Jonathan
He
too.
can still get a beat.
That's right. Mine
These
too,
two
John.
these two kids are old enough right now, they know right from wrong.
They sure do. That little one right there, though, he ain't ready.
So
He's
that's,
got some more time.
you know, that's what it's set up. You can't make anybody else do what you want them to do. They got to do it for themselves. So this is why I'm saying, look in the mirror every morning or every night or however your schedule is and say, those two commandments, man, am I slacking? Am I backsliding? So just try to keep that in mind, because I know I've got to keep that in mind, because I don't want to go back against what all Jesus has done for me.
Amen, brother.
Because there's nobody else that would do that for me, I know that. Nobody on this earth. All right, let's go to Ephesians chapter 6. Page 1252.
I was gonna say, help us, brother, help us.
Now, we've been over this before, but I think with everything going on, we need to go back over the whole armor of God.
No, 50.
1252.
Okay, I will take it.
These are what?
6.
Chapter 6, Ephesians chapter 6.
What chapter, Rob?
Ephesians 1252,
I got that.
chapter 6.
No, it's on there. Okay.
Yeah, we need to go over again this whole armor of God with all this stuff that's going on. We need to put that armor of God on and keep it on. Now, chapter 1, verse 1 says that what we went over earlier, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it might well with thee and mayest live long on the earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up with the nurture and admonishment of the Lord. So you always want to, fathers, some fathers have a way of, I don't know,
Aggravating, irritating.
Being mean,
Yeah.
being too mean.
very
and not-
assertive,
Yeah.
a little too
and
disciplinary.
not bringing them, and they need to take them to church and being a little bit more nurturing is what God wants them to be. It's okay to be a disciplinarian as long as you're doing it in the right way, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Don't bring your kids up to be, bring them up in the right way, under God.
But like you said before though, Robert, if you bring them up that way, when they get to that certain age, they mess up. It ain't your mother's fault or father's fault.
You can bring your kids up in the right way, but once they get away from you, you can't control what they do. An example, Sean, when David leaves your home, you can't control what he does. You can't control his actions. You know what I mean? And you can raise him the best possible way, and he's a great kid. I already know that now.
Yeah.
But if he turns 20 and goes nuts away from you, you're sitting here like, he's been a great kid the whole time. I've raised him right. But I don't think he ever will. But what I'm saying is that's happened to people before. They get out there and get around the wrong influences of Satan, and then they change.
Yeah.
You can't help that. You can't blame the parent in a situation like that. So, unfortunately, that's what we have to pray, that they don't get around the wrong influences.
It's the child's choice whether to follow that person or not.
Yeah.
So 5 says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling and singleness of your heart as unto Christ. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart with good will, doing service as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. Now, when this Bible was written, and there's probably still countries that have servants and people that are slaves. If you get to have and read a Bible, and you're a servant or a slave, he wants you to continue to do what you're doing, and do it right, but serve God. Okay? And he wants you to not rebel, because you're probably going to get killed. Okay, but he wants you to do it in the spirit of him. It's just like our jobs today. He wants us to do our jobs, even though we don't like, a lot of times we don't like our bosses, we don't like our jobs, but he wants us to do our jobs with heart. He wants us to do the very best at our jobs, because he's watching us. It may not be a job that you want. It may not be a job that you go, oh, this is my, job that I want the rest of my life. It might be a step-up job. But he's watching you, and he wants you to do the very best, whatever. If you're a janitor, he wants you to be the best janitor that you can possibly be, because eventually you might need that boss, right, to write you a letter of recommendation so you can get that next job.
That's right.
Because that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to be the very best you can be and work for that money and do it.
Amen.
And that's what he's trying to tell these servants and stuff. Be obedient. Because most of the time, if you're doing the best job, man, those slave drivers and kings and stuff, they would be cool with them. They would be all right. And that's what he's trying to let them know. I'm watching you. I got you. Serve me. Don't worry as much about serving them. Just do a good job with them, but serve me. And he says, and ye masters. See, he's telling them the same way, because if they're Christians and reading the Bible, he's talking to the masters too, see. And ye masters, do the same things unto them.